Welcome back to the Perky Collar Radio Show on WDRB Media. I'm here with my guest today, Corbin Thomas. And so far for the first two segments, we've talked about his business called Premier Home Improvement here in Charlotte, North Carolina. That website's premierhomeimprovementnc.com. And I want to take the last couple minutes here and talk about his nonprofit organization. As if he's not busy enough doing Premier Home Improvement, he decided to start a nonprofit organization as well. And I want to learn more about that. And hopefully you guys can get involved in helping him with his cause and can get involved as well. So tell us a little about the nonprofit, why you started it, who benefits from it, and so on and so forth.
All right, great. Thanks, Dave. So it's called Anonymous Angel, and it's a 501c3 verified by the federal government. It's been on my heart since about 2010. I keep what's called the ideas file beside me in my bed. It's like a piece of paper and a pencil. And sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night with like an idea or an invention or just something that needs to be, it's noteworthy. I'll write it down. And it might be something stupid like a song I hadn't thought of in 20 years or a movie I want to watch, something I want to think about later. I just dump it all on this pad. And so one night I woke up like in cold sweat with this idea for Anonymous Angel, and like it has haunted me ever since. Like this is my dream for like my life. This is what has to take place. So crowdfunding is one of the fastest growing industries in the world. The first year it came out, it did like, I think, $1 billion. The next year was 6. The next was 16.6. The next was like 72. And they were projecting over $100 billion in crowdfunding this year. And only like 9% of that is for anything charitable. Mm-hmm. And so there's all these nonprofits out there that take money for stuff, and they don't really tell you what they do with it. And less than 5 or less than 10% actually goes to help somebody. And I think that's despicable. And I went to a church when I was a kid, and some weird stuff happened with the money, and it just was kind of a bad taste in my mouth. And so I said, I like to help people, but I like to see where my money goes. I don't like to just hand someone $5 and just say, I hope they do the right thing with it. Right. So it was this whole driving force behind it, I think, that drove it. And so crowdfunding is a fantastic platform. I think that there is one flaw with it, that I could go take a picture of a soldier off the internet and I could say, hey, I'm Tom, this soldier, and I need a knee replacement and I have 10 kids, and there's no checks and balances to see if that's true. And so with this, we work with verified partners. And so I'm a local Charlottean, so I know a lot of local churches and people. I was a volunteer at a food pantry here, the Common Heart. And so they have a really fantastic ministry, and they're really helping people. And so we reached out to these people. And if they have a relationship with someone, then, they've known them for some years, and they know for a fact they need some help, then they can refer them to us. And so they give them a card with an access number, and then they'd be able to go build an account. And it would say, referred by Pastor Mike of First Baptist Indian Trail. And so you might say, hey, I know Pastor Mike. That's a good dude. Like if he says that this guy's been going to his church for 3 years, then he probably knows him, Right. So it's some form of verification.
I see.
And then instead of a picture, it's a video. So everybody has a smartphone or has access to one. So they just take like a 1-minute video. They just explain, hey, I'm Tom. I fought in Afghanistan. I need a knee replacement. It really touched my heart. So you can hear the inflection in their voice. You can see it in their eyes. You can really experience what they're trying to tell you more than just, a paragraph. Someone might just have a silver tongue or be a wordsmith and type something that catches your heart. But they speak something that's different. And so let's say that there is a soldier asking for a knee replacement, and it touches our hearts, and we give him the money. Instead of giving him the money, we work with the hospital, the grocery stores, Walmart, and we give the hospital the money.
I see.
And the hospital, and instead of saying, David and Corbin gave you $7,500 each, it says an anonymous angel gave you your knee replacement. You need to come down here and get it. And so he goes down to the hospital and he gets his knee replacement. It's not like, where, he knows who the money's coming from. So you're doing it for a shine, or you're doing it to make your company look good, or you're doing it from the heart because you want to help someone, mm-hmm. And you're not going to get recognition for it. So, but the really cool thing about it is after he goes and has his knee replacement, part of the agreement is he makes a thank you video so we can send it back to the people who gave him money. So he makes a thank you video. This really touched my heart. This is an answered prayer. This really helped my family. And we send that back to everyone who gave him money so that you can see your money being spent. And I think initially we had said we were going to take 3.75% of funds to keep the lights on. And initially when I started out, I had some benefactors, and one of them got sick, and one of them had something change in his business, so he pulled out. And so I'm not good at asking for money. And so I asked a couple people for money, and it didn't pan out. And so I said, well, it wasn't meant to be. So I'm going to go focus on Premier Home Improvement, and I'm going to make enough money to fund it myself. We have a website. I'd like a better website built. I've spoken with a number of different website builders, and they've all indicated somewhere in the neighborhood of about $40,000 because it's a really interactive site. and it portals in with the back doors of some of these grocery stores and Walmart and stuff like this. And there's a lot of automation to it, so it couldn't be just a WordPress site. So there's a real hurdle there with the website, but I'd like to have a website built. That's going to take funding. I'm working on getting the funding currently with Premier Home Improvement. But, once it gets going, it's going to be a really fantastic thing because, like, Walmart can break up their store into different sections, like the clothing section, the houseware section. And so let's say that you're a single mom, you ask for back-to-school clothes. I need $400 back-to-school clothes. Then Walmart would then send them an email that says an anonymous angels has paid for your school clothes. They could print that out, take it to customer service, they scan that, and then they scan it onto a green dot card, which could only be spent on clothes. Not beer, not cigarettes. It can be spent on clothes from Walmart. So, like, although you're not buying the clothes for her, she doesn't just have free reign to go do whatever. Like, there's verifications and checks and balances where if you were spending the money on a soldier who needs a knee replacement, that's exactly what he gets. Is not $15,000 and you're trusting that he doesn't have a drug problem, and you get to see the money being spent. And there's a transparency link I want to have on the website where at any time you can go click it and it tells you how much is in the bank, where this money came from, where this money goes. No one makes any money. So there's no questions of how much, is getting lost. So it's just the transparency link shows total financial accountability. And what my goal here is I think all nonprofits should have to do this. And there's laws, where if you donate money to them, if you request it, they have to send you these things quarterly or whatnot. But if you have it right there instantly where you can click it and there's total transparency with all the financials, I want that to be the gold standard for nonprofits. And, then other people start to become like transparency verified, so that one day all websites or all nonprofits are transparent like that, or then they're not considered as legitimate, So there's been a lot of people who have heard about Anonymous Angel and it really wrecked them, and I thought they were going to take part. And they, it's going to take a lot of doing. It's going to take just a lot of follow through and a lot of doing. And it'll have to be, if I sell my company or I'd really like someone to take part. If someone heard this and it captures their heart or it touches them and they understand it and they feel like that they're led, to where this could be something that they want to see take place, they want to have part in any way, I would encourage them to reach out to me, 704-668-4501, call or text anytime. And I'd be open to, if someone says, hey, this is fantastic and we can do something with this, I don't even have to be part of it. I just want to see my dream take place. Like, I know that if this were executed the way that I have in my vision, then it would change the world. And anyone who's ever really seen it on paper and, like, seen the website and really had someone sit down and explain it for half an hour, they said it's going to change the world. Like Ross Rhodes of Samaritan's Purse, before he passed away a couple months ago, when he heard it, he started to cry and was like, this is going to change the world. Like, there's no question about it. Like, it's a big dream, and it's going to take a lot of doing, and I need help. So anyone who feels that they would like to help, I encourage them to reach out.
And do us a favor again, share a telephone number or email address as well. If they want to be involved, they want to help you with your dream and your passion.
Yeah, it's anonymousangel.com is the website. I think my contact information is on there with email and a contact form. My cell phone number is 704-668-4501. And you can reach me by email, loveforeveryoneintheworld. It's all spelled out at gmail.com.
Excellent.
So
it's incredible, because I think one of the biggest challenges is the nonprofits that are out there, what percentage they take for administrative fees.
It's not right.
And it's not public information. They don't want you to know what it is. And I'm sure a lot of them would do everything they could to prevent you from hitting the road and being reality, because now they have to be transparent. And it's going to affect their donations if they're not transparent. It causes a rift for them. But enough is enough already. If we're going to donate to a cause and try and help someone, we need to know that the money is going to where it's supposed to go. Yeah,
it's really sad. I saw some commercial on TV yesterday for some dogs, and my sister was pretty affected by it. And I said, let's look it up and see, what percentage really goes. And it was something like 15% goes to help certain approved thing. It was a lot of wording in there.
Sure.
A lot of lawyers' wording. It pretty much means like we don't do jack crap for any animals. Right. Like we're going to take this money and we're going to build our business or do whatever they want to with it. Just something that I don't think that's not right. There should be accountability for this. If people are donating their money to help people, then they should see people being helped.
Right. And nonprofit doesn't mean you spend the money on whatever you want
Right.
and show no profit at the end of the year. It means the money that people give to you goes to the cause that you sold.
Yeah,
And it's accountability. It's it's reliability. It's someone that you trust to
that's right.
put the money where you say it's going to go and help people.
Yeah,
So-
you're supposed to be a steward of these people's money. Then
Right.
you need to be a steward and show them what you're doing with their money.
And based on your research, which nonprofits right now do you think are on the higher end or the more transparent ones?
There's a lot, and there's like there's already a certification, like a star, like a gold star that you can get for your nonprofit. And I think, and there's a lot of rigid standards there already. Samaritan's Purse is a really good one.
I used to work with them, actually.
They're helping a lot of people, and they're taking that money and they're building for a future in their company so that they can help millions more people. They're not being greedy with their money. I can speak for them. The Common Heart is the Common Cupboard is a food pantry in Indian Trail. They just opened their 3rd satellite branch in Weddington. They take people's clothes in on consignment, and then they sell them, and they use that money to buy food, and they feed people who can't afford food. It's a really great ministry. Those are 2 that I can speak of. I mean, I've heard of a lot of others. I don't like to speak bad of people, but there's a lot of them out there that take money and waste it, and that's a sad thing.
There's another one in Indian Trail, maybe it's considered Monroe, that helps with domestic violence. Turning Point, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And
Turning
my
Point.
mother was a big fan of
They're good people.
donating clothes to them. And after she passed, I donated a lot of her clothes to Turning Point just because I figured that's what she'd want her clothes to do, to help people that are in
That was nice.
transition and having a tough time. And it's similar to Goodwill or similar to a Salvation Army store where they take in donations, they sell it to everybody, but the money goes towards helping women that are in distress and victims of domestic violence, need a place to stay and things like that. So there are a lot of, I don't know what percentage of the key percentage goes out, but
I can't speak on them, but I know they are really good. There was some girls that I went to high school with, and they did an internship there.
Okay.
And I actually went with them. They didn't want any men to have any internships, but I understand, and they were there for 6 months helping them, like every day, and they would tell me about it, and it seemed like a really fantastic, they're really helping people down there. That's great.
So to help me understand, what point is the Angel program in place right now? Is it started 6 months ago, a year ago? Is it still in the
It was started
idea?
in 2014.
2014.
Yeah,
So it's been 3 years.
Yeah, I got incorporated and got federal 501c3 approval in 2014, and there's a website. The website's not what I want. It's just something that I put on screen to get some internet presence. I didn't advertise it at all. We have our mission statement. We have everything. Everything's in order. The financials are in order. I just haven't moved forward with it to build the website I want.
So similar to Premier Home Improvement, can you build the website with things that you need first and then add the wants later?
Yeah, and that would be a great thing. And I had found one website building firm. I've spoken to probably 20 people who build websites, and it's kind of out of the realm of 19 of them. And then, the ones that I have spoken to that were capable of building it, we talked about this, like putting the functionality that you need in there to begin with, and then adding in the bells and whistles as it gets off the ground, which would be a great idea.
Excellent. That's great to hear. So help me understand where you are right now. So you started in 2014.
Yes.
You're officially 513C. Is that something you have to renew every year?
Yeah, and we've renewed the paperwork, and there's a solicitation license that you have to renew, and so we renewed our solicitation license. And
what does that cost? So the listeners that are thinking about doing their own 513C, what's it cost for
to start a 501c3? The easiest thing I could tell you to do is hire a lawyer who does it every day, because the paperwork is extremely strict. And if you do it as an individual, they don't look at it the same way as if a lawyer who does this for a living did it. They give her a little more, credit that she knows what she's doing.
Sure.
Mine got approval in, I think, less than a month.
Wow, that's great.
Whereas a lot of people who are doing it themselves, they take up to 24 months to get approval, and then they can kick it out for no reason. So that's money well spent to pay a professional to do what they do. And then the cost to maintain it is it's not much if you're not taking a lot of proceeds in. There's different levels. Like if you take more than $50,000 a year, which we haven't taken any. The only money we've taken in was what I gave at the company. So the fee to continue every year has been negligible.
Like $100?
A couple $100 for the paperwork.
What do you think it costs you to get started as far as to be a 513C? You hire the attorney. Is it a couple thousand? Is it?
Yeah. If you had a budget for $2,000 and you wanted to start a 501c3, then you could incorporate and you could register with the Secretary of State. Okay. And you could reach out to a lawyer. I can't remember the lawyer's name. She was in Raleigh. That's all she does. You can Google it. Lawyer who does 501c3 approval.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. 'Cause I think there's a lot of listeners that have good causes themselves, or want to start their own 513C and just don't know what's all involved and what the costs involved with doing something like that. And I think it's great that you took the initiative to get it started. So now we need to help Corbin out. We need to help him with some funding, help him with some resources. I actually have a website guy. I'm going to refer to him. His name is Scott Schafferneck.
That'd be great.
He lives here in Charlotte. He also has a lot of other resources that can help with social media, that can help with
Yeah.
the build out and so on and so forth. I don't know if he does any 513C websites,
Right.
but he does a lot of. He's gonna be helping me in 2018 with the Perky LLC website. It's gonna be all new in 2018. So we're excited about that, and he's just a straight shooter, and I think maybe be a great opportunity for you.
That would.
It'll
That'd be
cost you,
fantastic.
but at least it'll.
Yeah.
Someone you can trust and give you real numbers, and he's going to give you an itemized opportunity as well.
Right.
Or here's your basic website, and here are all the things you can add on
Right.
as you need to.
That's smart.
And that way the space is already there, and it's just, okay, well, now we're going to make this live. Now we're going to make this live as your funding increases, and
Yeah.
You're able to handle a bigger budget each month. But I think it's fantastic. Any stories you want to share with us regarding the investor group, the angel organization that anyone you've helped yet, or any stories you could share with us as we kind of finish up the last couple minutes?
Sure. There was a girl who lost her job and she wasn't able to make rent, and she had some issues with her car. She was referred to us by a trusted pastor, and it was a sad situation. And we put her on the internet. Like I said, I have a website. It's not fantastic, but we put her on the internet and did some crowdfunding. Sharing it to Facebook, and she was able to raise I think it was $1,500, and she was able to pay a car payment and get her rent caught up. And then by that time, she got a job, and so it helped her through that little low spot in her life. And it was really neat to see where the money went. We gave her 100% of the money that was raised, and the people that donated were able to see that put into play. It was really neat.
That's excellent. And then obviously it took the stress away from her, and she's probably able to get a good job and put that behind her. And Anonymous Angel kind of saved the day, which is great. And I'm sure there's many more stories to come.
Yeah,
but Corbin needs your help. So if you're listening and you want to help a good cause, you want to help people just like your friend. What's her name? Remember her name? The woman you helped that was
Caroline.
So if you want to help more people like Caroline, just in Charlotte, it could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere.
Anywhere. Okay.
Anywhere.
So if you want to help other people like Caroline that are just down to luck temporarily, this is not meant to be just a give with nothing in return. It's meant to be give to help someone. We're not enabling them to stay unemployed or stay in a broke situation. We're actually helping them through a temporary situation, get through and get back to work and get back to the lifestyle that they tend to have.
Right.
But just run into a temporary setback. So it's
sure,
what you can do to help them get them over the hump, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's not religiously affiliated. So we work with veterans associations. There's a couple veterans associations around, and a lot of different people. Anyone that can refer someone that would work with someone on a daily basis and knows their life, that they need help, and could refer them to us.
Okay. Yeah. So again, last in wrapping up, give us the audience a sense of how to get a hold of you.
Okay.
Email, phone number, website
Sure.
for Anonymous Angel.
Yeah.
So that we can make sure that there's many people listening and watching can help any way they can.
Okay. It's anonymousangel.com. And then if you'd like to reach out, my cell phone number is 704-668-4501.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to the Perky Collar Radio Show. You're listening to, I'm your host, David M. Frankel, on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. And I want to thank my guest today, Corbin Thomas, for sharing his story of his company, Premier Home Improvement, as well as his nonprofit, Anonymous Angel. And we will see you next week. And as always, instead of looking ordinary, look extraordinary. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks so much.